So till now, in standards on auditing, we are left with SA 600 ki series, and left rest we have done, right? And we'll be starting with other audits now. Audit of insurance company, company audit, insurance, bank audit, then your due diligence investigation, forensic audit, internal audit, operational audit, management audit, and then lastly CFS, or one or two odd chapters are left. In this company audit, I might be providing you with recordings. Okay. So if you are aware about this, so these chapters, company audit, LODR, PRQR, tax audit, insurance audit, these five chapters are being deleted from new course, new syllabus that will be applicable from May 2024. But we are least concerned about that, right? However, we are concerned in the sense that these chapters might carry a lot of weightage in this attempt, in your attempt. Lot of weightage mean the sense normal, whatever be the weightage be, but you can expect at least a question from each of the chapter. Specifically company audit में कारों से तो आना ही आना है, कारों से you will get one question at least. So company audit, LODR, a very important chapter. PRQR, you can expect even two questions, right? They gave two questions this attempt also. Then tax audit, and one is insurance audit. Insurance audit, you can expect one question out of each chapter, at least one question from each chapter. These chapters are going to get deleted from new course 2024. Okay. So company audit, I might be providing you with recorded lectures. This will be, so this insurance audit also, as I told, insurance audit also, audit of insurance company is going to be removed from the next attempt, right? And this for very important for your attempt. You will find generally, I have observed that whatever chapters are being removed by the institute from the next attempt onward, generally they tend to ask question in the attempt prior to that. So generally you will find that lot of questions being asked from the chapter prior to that. Like the same happened in Indies, in FR, particularly in May 2019. So in that attempt, 3-4 standard was removed. So many thought that November 18, many of the in all these chapters might not be asked also. Okay, but what happened was what happened is they asked particularly in all the standards whatever is going to be removed. So don't underestimate any chapter that is going to be removed from the next attempt. In fact, you can expect even a question or two from that chapter. So important chapter, generally weightage is of 5 marks, but you can even expect a more one or two odd MCQ also from insurance company, and therefore we will also prepare in the angle from the MCQ point of view. So each and every minute detail also we will have to focus. This is a big chapter. You might have to also focus on preparing any summary if you want to, because ultimately in the end, if you don't revise this a lot, then you will probably leave the chapter and go. So that I really don't want you to leave the chapter, particularly insurance audit and bank audit. These two chapters are left by the students generally before the exam. This I found. The day before the exam, they generally text that can I leave this? No, definitely no. Although this is a big chapter, as far as weightage is concerned, compared to that, you can say this is a big chapter. If you compare like chapter like automated environment, where the chapter is around 6-7 odd pages and the weightage is also 5 to 6 marks, but this is a big chapter and weightage is also 5 to 7 marks. So you have to work hard and see, and we have to go into each and every point in detail. We can expect a question from even from MCQ. So that is our way, that is how we are going to prepare this chapter also. Okay. Introduction wise, you will see कि first of all, who is insurer and who is insured. So definitely you all know insurer is someone who is providing you the insurance service, right? Who is providing you the assurance, and insured is the one whose risk is covered. If you are afraid of something losing, then you can get yourself insured, and therefore you will be the insured party. I'll be the insurer if I am insuring the same. Now insurance contract are generally of two types. One is indemnity contract and another one is benefit contract. So what do you mean by indemnity and another one benefit contract? Any difference that you can think of with the word, just by thinking of the word, listening to the word? Can you come out with the difference? Indemnity, you know, or probably, right? Indemnity meaning, and benefit contract. Yes.
It's like loss वगैरह cover करने के लिए.
loss if you incur, then it will be covered by the insurance company. And benefit contract, hmm? Indemnity, if loss occurs, then only reimburse. Correct, Suneshwaran? Then what is benefit contract? Benefit means what? Benefit, you will get the benefit assured, fixed benefit. Like example, Suneshwaran is giving a life insurance contract. So you are getting fixed amount even if you do not die. In the cases of life insurance contract, endowment policy and other, there are so many other policies in the life insurance policies. So you generally get the benefit do not, even if you do not die, right? So benefit means what? Example, even in general insurance like medical insurance, suppose there are two types of policy. Medical insurance policy, you will find that one is based on cost incurred, so whatever cost you will incur, will reimburse that. So this is what? Indemnity contract. This is indemnity contract. And the other one could be, doesn't matter what cost you incur, we will be providing you, suppose 5,000 per day, we will be providing you 5,000 per day. Doesn't matter if you are in semi private room or if it's a private room or it's a government room, it doesn't really matter to the insurance company. They will be providing you 5,000 per day. See, this is fixed lump sum, right? And this is what is called as benefit contract. No matter what cost you incur, it is not on they are not indemnifying you based on the cost incurred. They are giving you the benefit that, okay, this is your insurance policy says 5,000 per day. This is what is benefit contract. Benefit contract. Clear? So see, actual cost reimbursement. So indemnity contract, generally non-life insurance contract are indemnity contract, and generally life insurance contract, you will find that this are the benefit contract, because they will be paying you anyway unless it is a term insurance policy. So in term insurance, you might be aware, right, ki you don't get any benefit after the policy expires if you do not die. If you do not die, right? So unless and until you die, then only the claim will, yeah, the claim will trigger, and therefore then only you will get the benefit in the case of term insurance. So except term insurance, you will find that other life insurance products are generally what? Benefit contracts. Now other example they have given is health insurance contract, which reimburses for actual hospital bills, is indemnity contract. But if insurance company pays lump sum, say 550,000 of hospitalization, then that contract is what? Benefit contract. This I have explained you. Now insurance can broadly be classified into two types. One is life insurance, the other one is general insurance. फटाफट से सोच के बताते जाओ, what are the differences in LIC and GIC? लाइफ इंश्योरेंस और GIC, जनरल इंश्योरेंस में क्या क्या डिफरेंस है? थिंक एंड टेल फटाफट.
Insurance is the uh, um,
हम्म. अच्छा, लीव. In terms of these parameters, tell me the difference. Which is an investment product? LIC or GIC, general insurance? Which is an investment product? Life
LIC.
insurance.
LIC,
LIC.
Why so?
because it is a benefit contract, na, as
It's a
I just
benefit contract. You will get certain amount, right? Even after you do not trigger the loss, or even if the loss do not occurs, or even if the claim do not get triggered, right? If you, even if you do not die, you will get certain amount. Generally, what is the rate of interest that you can expect? Compounded average growth rate, or generally what rate of interest you can generate from LIC investment? Any idea? Say अपने मन से जो समझ में what you can think of. 2%, 3%, 5%, 6%, 7%, 8%. How much is you expect per annum?
For 8%.
7 or 8% LIC. So you'll find its return on investment is around 2 to 2.5%. So these are not meant for investment actually, right? These are investment product. In case you do not get the losses, then you will get at least some amount for your assurance. So your saving bank account will generate more interest than this, right? So it's not an
Yes,
investment
it's
product actually, it's a insurance product. However, you get certain amount after the policy expires or after the policy is completed. So that is the rate of interest that you can expect from life insurance products. So generally do not think of as an investment product. As a finance guy, as you are doing also chartered accountancy, you are learning financial management also, right? So you should not expect the great investment return from LIC. 7 to 8% is nothing. Nowhere. FD नहीं दे रही इतना. ठीक है. So similarly, what I was saying, you can also tell me which, why is also investment, why is LIC also called as investment product? Because of the tax benefit, right? So you also get tax benefit from investment in LIC. So that is not considered in 2 to 2.5%, the tax benefit that you get, right, of around 1.5 lakh in ATC. Now what is the tenure generally of LIC and GIC? GIC का tenure generally क्या रहता है? जनरल इंश्योरेंस कंपनी में
Short.
One.
शॉर्ट, जनरली इट इज ऑफ 1 year एनुअल रिन्यूअल होता है ना, every year you have to pay, right, for motor vehicle insurance or for your health insurance, for your medical insurance, whatever be the case, generally it is annual. And in LIC it will be of specified period, generally long term in nature. Now claim certainty, if you see claim certainty, what, where do you think is the claim is going to be certain, in LIC or GIC?
LIC.
LIC, right? So it is going to be certain in LIC. However, in GIC it is not uncertain. It is uncertain. It will be dependent on loss that you will incur, right? And lastly, the purpose. If you see, what is the purpose of both? LIC purpose is for investment, also for insurance, also for tax benefit, also, right? And general insurance is generally for the purpose of insuring your insuring your object, insuring your health, insuring your vehicle, whatever be the case. So generally, purpose of the general insurance company is for the purpose of insurance only. However, this LIC is for multi-purpose, example, investment, tax benefit, insurance, all the purposes are satisfied. So you can write, how can we just try to recollect all 4 points, if at all it is asked. We see all these points will look very minute, or not minute, but very redundant to you, right? Not of great significance. However, if at all they ask and you are not able to recollect even a point, like tenure was there, claim certainty, purpose, but you forgot what was the main first point, your investment, so for that you lose 1 mark. So instead of that, we can just try to recollect CPT में investment किया or something sort of like anything, so that you do not forget any of the point. It's very basic question, they should not ask, but still we can't be all time sure, right? Now CPT में investment से, C से claim certainty, P से purpose, T से tenure, and I से investment. Now come to legal framework. What is the regulatory department of insurance? It is IRDAI, right? Insurance Regulatory Department, Authority of India. Primary legislation which act covers, which act governs insurance? Insurance Act 1938 and IRDA Act 1999. Insurance Act 1938 and IRDA Act 1999. And framework of the following policy generally is governing what? Insurance in the Indian industry, Indian economy. So Insurance Act as amended by Insurance Law Amendment Act 2015, including Insurance Rules 1939. Then IRDA Act 1999 as amended by Insurance Laws Amendment Act 2015. So Insurance Act 1938 and IRD Act 1999 have both been converged into Insurance Laws Amendment Act 2015. So you should write both. If they ask, generally they won't ask all the laws which govern insurance, right? And IRDA regulations framed under IRDA Act 1999, Companies Act, definitely all insurance companies need to be in the corporate form only. It need to be in the corporate form company. So therefore, definitely Companies Act will be applicable here. IRDA investment regulation and IRDI preparation of financial statement and auditors report regulations 2000. Now few important statutory provision, very important. First one is that third provision to section 2C of 1 of Insurance Act 1938 prohibits any person other than Indian insurance company. That means two keywords are there. First is Indian company, sorry, first one is company, and the second one is Indian. So you need to be first of all Indian, right? Indian in terms of Indian company. So you need to be first of all in the corporate form, company form, and you need to be secondly Indian company only to begin transact insurance business after the commencement of IRD Act 1999. So after this commencement of this Act IRD Act 1999, the person who is being insurer has always going to be an Indian insurance company only, except for one case, except for the case of reinsurance. So if you want to do the business of reinsurance business, that will study later what is reinsurance, then you can be probably even not, if you are not even Indian insurance company, then fine, you can do the reinsurance business, but not insurance business नहीं कर सकते हो, ठीक है? The insurance section 64 VB, very important act, sorry, section 64 VB of the Insurance Act 1938 prohibits insurer from assuming risk without receipt of fund. That means what? Suppose you received funds, suppose you issued all the policy document, he also signed everything, and the policy dated from 1st of July 2023. However, you received funds on 10th July. You received funds, that is premium received on 10th July. So in between 1st July to 10th July, you will not assume risk. That means what, if at all what happens is, if at all loss incurs, then you will not be liable to pay, because till the time we have not received the funds, till the time we have not received premium, that time, till that time onward, we will not be assuming risk, and therefore insurance company will not be making any claim, so no insurer shall assume risk in India for insurance business on which premium is being paid, unless प्रीमियम पेबल जो है ना वो रिसीव्ड हो चुका है, तो तुम एक्सेप्ट कर लो, या राइट, प्रीमियम पेबल इज रिसीव्ड, देन यू कैन एक्सेप्ट द रिस्क, और प्रीमियम इज गारंटीड to be paid. So guarantee कहीं से मिल गई है, if you have got the guarantee from any other party that yes, if you do not pay the premium, I will pay the premium, then also you can start with the risk assumption. And even if you are not got the guarantee, but there is some deposit of such amount as may be prescribed in made in advance, then also you can accept the risk, you can assume the risk. So you will probably state section 64 VB in question like this, which I just mentioned. 1st July you have got all the policy documents, everything is finalized. However, the premium has been received on 10th July. So you'll write mention section 64 VB of Insurance Act 1938, which state that the no insurer shall assume risk. कोई भी insurer risk assume नहीं करेगा unless premium is being received or premium is being guaranteed by the other party, or premium is the some deposit or something has been received in respect of premium as may be prescribed. Clear? Now registration of Indian insurance company, as I told you, it has to be what? Indian insurance company. Therefore section 3, insurer to obtain certificate of registration as per Companies Act. Registration of Indian insurance company is done as per IRDA registration of Indian insurance company registration 2000. An Indian insurance company includes a company, Indian होनी चाहिए ना, Indian. Therefore it is a company in which not more than 49% of the paid up equity capital is held by foreign investors. So foreign investors के पास should not exceed 49% of the paid up equity capital, paid up equity capital of such Indian insurance company, which is Indian owned and controlled. So then only you will be called Indian insurance company, and then you will be only be liable or eligible to do transact insurance business in India. However, as I told you, even a foreign insurance company can engage into reinsurance. Reinsurance में engage कर सकते हो if you want. So what is reinsurance? Suppose you all are insured and I have done the insurance on behalf of you, but now I feel that okay, fine, I think that most of you will be making the claim. That means most of you will incur this loss, and therefore I find that okay, the risk is more uh, as compared to what I am allowed to take the risk, right? So according to me, the risk appetite is breached. So what will I do? I will transfer some of the risk from you to another company, and that is called as what? Reinsurance. Insurance is being transferred to another insurance company. They will be now liable to make the payment if at all loss incurs to you. However, I will be the intermediary between you and between reinsurer. So that is motamati reinsurance company, reinsurance business. That will also study later part of the chapter. However, just remember that Indian insurance company 49% or more of paid up equity capital से ज़्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए from with foreign investors. However, they can engage in reinsurance business. ठीक है? Studied reinsurance in CA inter accounts, right? Correct, Dhanlakshmi. So what was the entry, Dhanlakshmi? Reinsurance contract schedule में जब अपन दिखाते थे, how do we used to disclose premium received? प्रीमियम जब प्रीमियम की जो डिस्क्लोजर होता है अपने फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में इन द केस ऑफ इंश्योरेंस कंपनी, हाउ डू वी यूज टू डिस्क्लोज द प्रीमियम? यस, याद है क्या किसी को? Premium has to be shown net of reinsurance premium. So net premium generally we show what? We show net premiums. So premium, whatever premium we received minus reinsurance premium we will deduct. Minus reinsurance premium, whatever premium that we will transfer to another insurance company, because we are also transferring risk to that company, right? So in comparison to risk, we will also transfer the equivalent amount of premium to them, and therefore we will disclose what? Net premium. Net premium will be the outer, in the outer column. And also we used to deduct one more item, which is URR, unexpired risk reserve, if you remember. याद आ रहा है
Yes,
क्या
sir.
कुछ? Right? So that also we will study URR, reinsurance and all. Now first come to requirement as to minimum paid up equity capital. Very important from MCQ point of view. They have even asked in this RTP. So first of all, you need to have minimum paid up equity capital of 100 paid up equity share capital of 100 crores. 100 करोड़ पाहिजे तभी तुम्हाला इंश्योरेंस कंपनी बिजनेस कर सकते हो, राइट? इंश्योरेंस बिजनेस, इफ यू वांट टू ट्रांजैक्ट, यू नीड टू हैव पेड अप इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल ऑफ 100 crores, excluding however, excluding important preliminary expenses in formation and registration of company. So this, if you have included in paid up equity share capital, this you will remove. I give you an example. ICI का question है, this is an ICI question. Tell me फटाफट से, paid up paid up equity share capital is 101 cr and your preliminary expense is 2 cr. Whether are you eligible to transact insurance business in India? Minimum paid up capital की जो requirement है, is it fulfilled or not? Yes or no? No. Dhanlakshmi is saying no. No. Suneshwaran is also saying no. So everyone answer is no. Yes or no? बोलो बोलो जल्दी. So Nupur is saying no. Arnab is saying yes. Arnab, yes or no?
सेटिंग बोला है ना, तो एक्सक्लूडिंग प्रीलिमिनरी एक्सपेंसेस को हम निकल के अगर देखेंगे तो 100 क्रॉस कर.
तो यहाँ पे दो assumption है. I think what I also committed mistake, same mistake is committed by Arnab also. What I thought was this 2 crore is not included in paid up equity share capital already. Then why will we exclude this again? So paid up share equity share capital excluding preliminary expenses, then you will have to just do what? This minus this. So 99 CR will be your paid up equity share capital excluding preliminary expenses. So जो भी तुम्हारा paid up equity share capital है, you have to exclude preliminary expenses from debt and then see whether is it crossing 100 CR or not. So other answers were all correct only. I got confused कि paid up equity share capital में if it's not already included, so nothing as such to be seen. It included or not, we have to exclude from the paid up equity share capital 2 CR will be or whatever be the preliminary expenses that is to be excluded and then correctly compare it with 100 CR. ठीक है? Now, insurance company are required to maintain a minimum solvency ratio of 150%. And what is solvency ratio? It is excess of asset over liability. That means what? If your total liability is of 150 CR, so your total assets should be 225 CR. 225 CR. That is what your solvency ratio is. Now, solvency ratio of 150%. This is different. This is different. And this what I have just told you, this is different. This is called a solvency margin. This is called a solvency margin. However, what they have mentioned here is wrong. This is not solvency ratio. This is solvency margin. The definition that they've given is not of solvency ratio. It is of solvency margin का definition है ये. Solvency margin is what? Excess of asset over liability. And solvency margin we will also see in the last portion of the chapter. Solvency margin you will see solvency margin is equals to 50%. Solvency margin होना चाहिए 50% minimum होना चाहिए. That means what? Excess of asset over liability. That means asset minus liability should be more than 50% of total liability. So here in this case अपना कितना आ रहा है 225 CR minus 150 CR कितना आ रहा है 75 CR is greater than or equal to, that means at least 50% होना चाहिए, is greater than 50% of 150 CR. So आ रहा है ना अपना solvency margin is being met. Solvency margin 50% होनी चाहिए. What they have given is solvency ratio and they have taken it as same only. In the MCQ also they have given and they have taken it as same. However, there is a key difference in solvency ratio and solvency margin that I will share a video with you. ठीक है? Explaining in detail what exactly is the difference, but that is not relevant for exam perspective if I say, and therefore we are not going to discuss here. I'll share the video separately in the group. I've uploaded it on YouTube also, but that is in detail. I'm explaining what is solvency ratio, how do we calculate it, and that needs to be around 1.5 times. 1.5 times. That is called as what? 150%. But what they have explained here, the meaning is what of solvency margin, and they have given in last also solvency margin should be 50%. And solvency margin is what? Excess of asset over liability. I hope थोड़ा थोड़ा समझ में आया होगा. Solvency margin and solvency ratio are different. सॉल्वेंसी रेशियो 150% होना चाहिए, बट दैट इज ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट कॉन्सेप्ट दैट इज कैलकुलेटेड डिफरेंटली. एंड सॉल्वेंसी मार्जिन इज वेरी सिंपल टू कैलकुलेट. यू जस्ट हैव टू सी excess of capital over liability, sorry, excess of asset over liability should be 50%, and that should be 50% of minimum paid up capital. मतलब समझ रहे हो, मिनिमम पेड अप कैपिटल होना चाहिए वो. एक सेकंड नीचे आ जाओ लास्ट में. देखो सॉल्वेंसी मार्जिन क्या बोलता है, मेंटेन एक्सेस ऑफ एसेट ओवर लाइबिलिटी not be less than 50% of amount of minimum capital as stated under section 6 of the act. Just now we saw how much should be the minimum paid up equity share capital. Minimum paid up capital कितना होना चाहिए?
100 crores.
100 crores, right? So इसका 50% कितना हुआ? 50 crores. Yes or no? So they are saying that solvency margin जो है मेरा, solvency margin के accordingly section 64 VA of the act requires every insurer and reinsurer to maintain an excess of asset over liability of exact 50 crore. इतना होना चाहिए कम से कम. Exact 50 crore होना चाहिए कम से कम. ठीक है. एंड देन देयर वी विल सी कंट्रोल लेवल ऑफ सॉल्वेंसी क्या होती है, एंड ऑल दिस you will find this relating to solvency ratio that I will share the video, but for exam perspective you just remember what solvency margin जो है वो excess of asset over liability है, and this excess of asset over liability should be at least 50% of minimum paid up capital, और minimum paid up capital अपना कितना है 100 CR, and therefore solvency margin जो अपनी होनी चाहिए वो at least 50 CR होनी चाहिए. क्लियर है क्या? और इफ दे आस्क डायरेक्टली ना, इफ दे आस्क डायरेक्टली 150% और 50% और 75% और 100% इन एग्जाम, देन दे वोंट बी कंफ्यूजिंग यू विथ 150 एंड 50. दे विल बी गिविंग आइदर 150% और 50% इन एग्जाम इन एमसीक्यू. ठीक है. यस और नो एवरीवन?
Time, sir, we will be writing this only, na? The minimum solvency ratio of 150% for this question. If anything set out from this.
They will generally find an MCQ. They won't give you a specific 5-mark question on this. So even if they give, then you can write the solvency margin deficiency, solvency margin, and that what we will see the last part of the chapter. वो जो last part है ना, where that will cover tomorrow,
Yeah,
that
okay.
you will write, not this. Solvency ratio is different concept. They have not got into detail about that, but that is to be maintained 1.5 times. फिर control levels, control solvency level एक आता है, that is to be maintained 1x. अगर उससे भी नीचे जाते हो, तो then you have to liquidate. IRDAI will liquidate you. So control level of solvency is there. There is solvency ratio 1.5x, and that how has to be computed. Form HG, form GH के हिसाब से asset and liquidity निकाल के we have to see 1.5x आता है कि नहीं. So that is a different that you can also gather the information online, or I will share the video. But for exam perspective, just focus on the last portion जो solvency margin अपने को last में दी है. What we have been given in the last. ठीक है. If they at all ask you 4 to 5 marks, definitely they won't be, but if they give, generally you will find a MCQ, and this MCQ is also asked in ICI का MCQ booklet में. You will find this MCQ. ठीक है. Now form and content of financial statement you will see. If you remember, how many profit and loss account did you use to prepare? Do you remember before preparation of profit and loss account we used to prepare one more account? In case of insurance company, general insurance company particularly, GIC के केस में we used to prepare one more statement before preparation of profit and loss statement. याद आ रहा है क्या?
Receipts and payment.
नहीं, receipt and payment is nothing but your cash and cash flow statement, CFS. We used to prepare revenue account. Revenue account, if you remember, revenue account में we used to then bifurcate the revenue account into 3 parts. One was marine, fire, and others. We used to first bifurcate all the revenue and other into whatever way we can bifurcate into these 3 items, and the rest common expenses, for that we used to prepare what profit and loss account. If you remember accounting, they used to give the
Yes, sir.
adjustment, right? कि इतना fire का है, इतना portion marine का है, इतना others का है. So we used to first of all bifurcate all into revenue account, and then we used to prepare profit and loss account in CA Inter. So that is what they are also saying, कि every insurer has to prepare balance sheet, profit and loss account, right? This is common that every entity used to prepare. But apart from that, we prepare, instead of cash flow, we prepare what? Receipt and payment account in the insurance company. Why receipt and payment? Because receipt and payment reflects direct method of preparation of CFS. If you know, CFS को दो मेथड से बना सकते हैं, right? Cash flow statement can be prepared in 2 ways, direct and indirect, right? अगर याद आ रहा होगा तो ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटी वाला जो पोर्शन होता है, फर्स्ट पोर्शन ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटी, that can be prepared also using direct method में what do, we directly see all the receipts that we have got and all the payments that we have made, and finally we arrive at the operating cash flow from operating activity. So that is to be followed in insurance company mandatorily. Indirect method of accounting not allowed. Indirect method of preparation of CFS not allowed in the case of insurance company, and that is why we prepare here what, receipt and payment account, not your cash flow statement. And thirdly extra they have given is what, regarding revenue account. So revenue account, just now I gave you the detail for each year as per regulation section 11 of Insurance Act. Now every insurer should keep separate account relating to funds of shareholder and policyholder, because you are getting so much money, right, as an insurance premium, and this premium money belongs to whom? This premium money belongs to general public in large. Public का पैसा है भैया, and this public money cannot be invested as if you are investing your own money, right? So you have to be investing all this money with due diligence, proper care, right, and proper caution. And therefore shareholder का पैसा अलग, policy holder का पैसा अलग. You have to keep both the funds separately. Policy holder fund का audit भी अलग होगा, shareholder funds का भी अलग से. So that is what they are saying. Every insurer should keep separate account relating to funds of shareholder and policy holder. And then the regulation contains 3 schedules, like just like अपने कंपनीज एक्ट में देर आर 7 शेड्यूल. सिमिलरली इन इंश्योरेंस ऑल्सो दे हैव 3 शेड्यूल. शेड्यूल ए इज विद रिस्पेक्ट टू LIC का फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. व्हाट? शेड्यूल ए इज विद रिस्पेक्ट टू LIC का फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. शेड्यूल बी इज विद रिस्पेक्ट टू GICs का फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. मतलब जितनी भी लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज है वो लोग अपना फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट बनाएंगे एज पर शेड्यूल ए, एंड जितनी भी general insurance company they will prepare their financial statement as per schedule B, and all the auditors will prepare their audit report as per schedule C, whether they are of LIC or whether they are of GIC. तो चाहे लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कंपनी हो और जनरल इंश्योरेंस कंपनी हो, डजेंट मैटर, शेड्यूल सी विल बी डीलिंग विद ऑल दी ऑडिट रिपोर्ट डिटेल्स ऑफ बोथ द कंपनी, LICs as well as GICs. ठीक है? एनी डाउट टिल नाउ? शेड्यूल ABC, रिमेंबर दिस. कोई डाउट फटाफट से देख लो. It is not we have to prepare, it deals with auditor's report. So audit report का जो format है, and auditor what all points he have to see, specifically mention which paras have to be mentioning what things, content. So everything will be mentioned in schedule C. It is relating to auditor, matters to be dealt with by auditor's report for insurance company both LIC and GIC.
Okay.
ठीक है? Now come appointment of auditors. Appointment of auditors. This was asked in May 21 का MTP also. अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ ऑडिटर्स. स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर जो जनरल इंश्योरेंस कंपनी के है ना, जनरल इंश्योरेंस कंपनी का एग्जांपल यू कैन फाइंड, इवन यू कैन गूगल, लाइक न्यू इंडिया इंश्योरेंस कंपनी, ठीक है, लाइक यूनाइटेड इंडिया इंश्योरेंस कंपनी लिमिटेड. सो ऑल दीज आर एग्जांपल ऑफ पब्लिक सेक्टर अंडरटेकिंग्स व्हिच आर इन GICs. So generally their appointment will be done by whom? CAG, because they are generally what? PSUs. ठीक है? So the government shareholding is there, and therefore their appointment will be done by CAG. However, in case of other company, like example, you can say IFCO Tokyo, if you have heard of this, like Bajaj Insurance. So all these auditors, they will be appointed normally like what we do as in companies, right? As in companies. So that their appointment will be done in AGM, annual general meeting only, complying with the all the IRDA guidelines. Very, very important. Maximum 3 insurance company only you can do the audit. So max to max, you can do the audit for 3 insurance companies, 2 life and 2 general. That means what? You cannot do audit of all the 3 life insurance companies, or you cannot do the audit of all 3 general insurance companies. So you have to do either 2 LICs and 1 GIC, or 2 GIC 1 LIC, or 1 भी चलेगा, because maximum 3 है ना, so 2 भी allowed. But if you are doing maximum 3 audits of insurance company, then किसी एक का अलग ऑडिट होना जरूरी है. दैट मीन्स 1 LIC हैज टू बी देयर, और एटलीस्ट 1 GIC हैज टू बी देयर, बोथ कंडीशन. ठीक है? And also you have to mandatorily have joint auditors. Mandatorily have a joint auditor for all the insurance companies. That means what? All insurance company will be mandatorily be performing what? Joint audits. Generally they, what they in the SMS given is, generally you will find कि 4 joint auditors are there for any insurance company. So that is generally recommendation, not to be complied as if there it is a law. So that is why I have not mentioned here, but in SM they have given ki generally you will find, you will observe that 4 joint auditors are there for each insurance company. But what we need to be wary about is the fact that all insurance company has to mandatorily follow joint audits. ठीक है, and maximum 3 insurance company को audit कर सकते हो, maximum 3 insurance company audit only. Now remuneration of auditor is same, like they will be decided in general meeting or in such manner as the company general meeting determine whatever they determine in the general meeting remuneration, or the way they will determine the remuneration, whatever they decide in general meeting will be fixed. ठीक है, for remuneration of auditors. Rights and duty of branch auditors. Now क्या बोल रहे हो पूजा? Network firm conduct insurance audit means जॉइंट ऑडिट के लिए पूछ रहे हो क्या? यस. सो जॉइंट ऑडिट में जनरली देर इज नो सच बार कि you need to appoint only the auditor which is not in your network firm. ठीक है, so yes you can appoint unless specifically mentioned that you cannot. However, generally company will not make that decision because of some facts that you study in company audit. Why so? Because in case of rotation, then that joint auditor that has joined with you in the network firm, that will also be liable to get rotated, right? So generally company wants कि कोई एक joint auditor रहे, so that the new joint auditor which comes later on can, they can transition, the old joint auditor can explain the processes, what are exactly are going through in the entity, how is the entity operating procedure and everything dealing with what. So generally entity do what, कि ऐसा एक joint auditor रखते हैं जो which is there as a old joint auditor, so that the new joint auditor can join with him smoothly. So if you appoint in the same with the same network, then rotation में problem हो जाएगी. Rotation में both the that other joint auditor will also have to vacate. Now rights and duties of branch auditors में it's nothing but like all the divisional office जो है, branch offices जो है अपने insurance companies के, there also branch audit will be applicable, and as per SS 600 and everything will be applied as it is mutatis mutandis. So what they are specifically saying कि branch auditors also have the same rights. They are saying कि वो उनके पास भी same rights and obligations है as statutory auditors to whom they are reporting and expect to submit their report. So they have the same rights that statutory auditors have. However, where accounts are centralized, I mean maintained in a centralized manner, that means accounts are kept or prepared in the head office only, then there the concept of branch audit will not be that much applicable. That means the branch auditor and statutory auditor both will be motamati same always, majorly. So in case of private companies, accounting and operational system of company are centralized, and hence principle of divisional office preparing accounts and they being consolidated is not applicable. So rest of the cases where the preparation of accounting is not centralized, so there generally what will happen कि जो branches hai, they will prepare their accounts and then they will send it to the head office for the consolidation, right? So branch auditor will have the same rights obligation with respect to the statutory auditor as statutory auditor has. However, in case of this, like divisional office where the centralized preparation of accounting is being done, as accounting and everything is done in a centralized manner, there you will not find divisional offices to be audited, and therefore no consolidation has to be applied, and their accounts of all the division, trial balance and their balance sheet are prepared at the head office only. ठीक है? ठीक है क्या? Now come to very important line, which is investment risk management system and process audit. Generally an MCQ comes from here. Investment risk management system RMS जो है and your process audit, that has to be audited by a firm, independent firm which is not your statutory audit, internal audit, concurrent audit, तुम्हारे से related नहीं होनी चाहिए वो CA firm. It should not be related to you. It should neither be your statutory auditor, neither should be to your internal auditor or nor your concurrent auditor. And in that case, that firm will be appointed to certify upon investment risk management system and process audit. That firm will be appointed to certify that investment risk management system and processes are in place. Important point, Caro is not applicable in the case of insurance company that you will anyway gather in company audit chapter. Caro is not applicable. Just remember. Now, requirement of the Insurance Act 1938 vis-a-vis the Companies Act. So, disclosure under Companies Act, it say also applies to the Insurance Act. I mean insurance companies. So, whatever disclosure requirement is there for companies under the Companies Act, the same provision will also be applied to insurance companies. Mota mati, mostly same provision. Provision to Section 129 says that financial statement of a company shall not be treated as not disclosing true and fair view of the state of affairs merely by reason that they do not disclose matters which are not required to be disclosed under the Insurance Act. That means what? Suppose example that there is certain disclosure requirement which is specified under Schedule through Companies Act may have specified. However, it is not specified. It is exempted under Insurance Act. Then that will be completely fine even if you do not disclose it. Even if you do not disclose it, because they are saying what? Ki merely by reason of the fact that they do not disclose the matters which are not required to be disclosed under Insurance Act. And then therefore in that case financial statement shall not be construed. Financial statement shall not be construed as disclosing as treating as not disclosing true and fair view. That means what? तुमको ये नहीं माना जाएगा कि तुम ट्रू एंड फेयर व्यू डिस्क्लोज नहीं कर रहे हो. We will not assume that you are not disclosing true and fair view. Both negative converts into positive. That means you are allowed in case the Companies Act do specifically mention. However, it is not mentioned. The disclosure requirement is not mentioned in Insurance Act. However, insurance company, if they desire, it may disclose additional information if it wants. ठीक है.
So that means sir, IRDA Act override Companies Act here.
Yeah, you can say that for disclosure requirement for prevention of FS and disclosure. ठीक है. Now come to auditing in an IT environment. Auditing in an IT environment. So we have already gone through automated environment chapter, right? So same like here also, since insurance company is such a vast business. So any company you pick up, thousands of crores of revenue you will find in its books. So auditor has to familiarize himself with all the IT environment first of all in the insurance company. He need to gain understanding to the workflow. कैसा walkthrough लेना पड़ेगा process का, process walkthrough, right? So workflow of all the important transaction, how is the transaction is carried out. So walkthrough of the process, walkthrough of the transaction, and then auditor has to select few transactions and trace them through the system that is identifying audit trail. If you know, right? If you have done this, so you will select few of the transaction and from start to end you will collect all the audit evidences. Like probably in the case of automated IT environment, you won't be able to exactly see the same, but you will obtain screenshot. You will get the screenshots of certain items. Negative testing, we say this as negative testing. Negative testing is what? We just see कि अगर system is correct, then मोटा माटी all transaction will be correct. Negative testing में we see that if system is negatively giving result, then मोटा माटी all transaction will be failed. All audit internal controls will be failed. So we can select few transactions and trace them through the system that is identifying the audit trail. Satisfy yourself about the design and operation of the IT system, that whether they are prepared the designing operation of the entire system, IT system, right? And then also seek WRL from management about changes in IT system that have taken place. If different system in operations, auditors separately examine efficacy of each system. So अगर बहुत सारे अलग अलग सिस्टम है, there are different system in the operations, then auditor will separately examine the efficiency, efficacy, effectiveness of each and every system, and lastly again obtain the WRL with respect to what? That there is no changes in the system as compared to the last year that we have checked. So there is no major changes. You already obtained WRL, right? With respect to if there is about any changes in the IT system that have taken place. So regarding changes in the IT system also you will take WRL, and also take WRL that no changes in the system during the year as compared to the last year. that also you have to opt in WRL. So WRL से मोटा मोटी both the points are same only, right? एक से अपन ले रहे WRL कि there if at all there are any changes then do let us know. And the second one is what? If there is a change, that there is no change, in the system during the year. So how do we learn these points? All the points can be asked. Important ही है as such. So you can link one story. You can say this tough was there, TUF. So see, TUF. So F for familiarize, U for getting an understanding of the workflow, and T for transactions. So what I will say, the first point you will start from here कि I wanted to satisfy myself about the design and operation of the IT system. ठीक है? First point, everyone. First point, I wanted to get myself satisfied about what? About the designing, about the operation, how I exactly IT system operate, right? So, but I observe what that there are so many different systems in operation. There are so many auditors separately in charge of the examining of the efficacy of each system. So lot of complexity and different systems are there. So I found it very tough. I found it very tough means TUF wala tough. So tough, T say that you can select few transactions, right, to trace them as an audit trail. U for getting an understanding of the workflow, and F say familiarizing yourself with the IT environment. F say familiarizing, U say understanding, T say transaction. And lastly, with respect to two WRL point, कि any changes proposed, then also you take WRL, and if no changes in the as compared to the last year, then also take WRL. ठीक है क्या? All the points. Just go through this once again and go through also the tax audit. So sorry, it was not recorded. I'll just speak again. So tax audit, one mistake you'll find कि it should be form 3CA and not 3CB. ठीक है? Why? Because already we will be doing our audit under Companies Act. So it should be 3CA. However, StudyMat says 3CB. So we'll see that only. ठीक है? 3CB and 3CD रखो. And appointment is very very important, that you can expect in exam कि it should be appointed by board of director resolution or even by chairman MD. This is special कि even chairman and MD can appoint tax auditor if it is so authorized by the board of director of the company. ठीक है? Now we'll start with what? Life insurance contracts, LIC. LIC से we'll start now, and one by one we will go through each and every topic. ठीक है? So first topic is the type of life insurance product, not that important for exam. However, let's just understand what are the types of LIC products, life insurance products. One, you already know term insurance protection, right? So only death benefit is there, no other benefit, but only and only what? Death benefit. That means if you die, then you'll get the benefit, not you, but your relatives, right? Dependents. The other one is endowment, pure endowment policy. So endowment policy cover risk for all specified period, and at the end of the policy, the sum insured is paid back to the policyholder. Right? Just like I told you, the interest of 2 to 3% you will earn, and you will get back the amount. 2 to 3% per annum. Similarly, money back plan are type of endowment policy which provides periodic payment. So here in endowment policy now, you will get the repayment at last, at the end, repayment at the end of the policy. However, in money back, you will get periodic payment. So my one policy is going in LIC, in which I get every year I get 50,000. Every year I will get 50,000 rupees. After of course, already my father has started this policy long back in 10, 12 years already it has lapsed, and 13 more years are still remaining. So the policy after the completion of 10 years, every year you will get 50,000 rupees. So that is a sort of what? Money back plan, right? Then whole life insurance product is also there. Unlike endowment plans, they do not carry maturity value or sum assured. So unlike the above plans, they will not be carrying any maturity value sum assured, and it will be paid to the family in case of unfortunate death of the holder. So that this is for whole life. And for term insurance, this is generally for say example 25 years. So if I start my term insurance from this right now, so I am currently 25 years old. So that will run till suppose 50 years. After that, I will not be covered. But in the case of whole life insurance product, that is covered till the end of your life. Till the end of your life. That is just the difference. So we are trying to see also the difference so that you at least retain all different types of policy. Term insurance हो गया, endowment, pure endowment हो गया, money back plan, whole life insurance product. Then unit, ULIP you will know कि ULIP में you invest in units of any funds or any other funds, units में invest करते हो, and then you also get the insurance benefit along with the units. Your investment funds are also linked to investment products as well as insurance products, so your investment money is bifurcated in both the parts, just like LIC. And then pension or retirement plans. So pension plan is retirement solution where after retirement you will start getting the money, or at the time of retirement you will get the wholesome money in lot, fixed amount. Annuity is what? Annuity is at the time of retirement you will pay a certain amount, say 1 crore I will pay to the insurance company, and I'll tell the company to pay 5 lakh every year till the end of my life. And insurance company will see that okay fine, this person is going to live around 25 odd years, not more than that, 20 to 25 years जिएगा, and therefore 25 5 ja 1 crore 25 lakh. So in the case, in the course of 20 to 25 years, I'll be getting 1 crore initially at 0th period of time. That means if suppose example I am at the age of 80 years, 80 years mein insurance company is getting 1 cr, right? And in the course of next 20 to 25 odd years, he will be required to pay 5 lakh every year, 5 lakh every year. So he'll be paying what? It will be paying 1.25 cr in next 25 years. So overall they are getting benefit ना. 1 crore अभी ले लिया, अभी invest करेंगे large investment products में, they will be generating investment return of 10 12 13%. And what is the rate of interest here? 1.25 cr divided by 1 cr, and that too in 20 years. So that will be what? 1 divided by 20. So you can calculate it will be even less than 1 2%. ठीक है? Now, group insurance is like what companies generally offer to the employees. So, companies generally have a group insurance policy for all the employees in which they get certain wholesale discount. Wholesale discount मिल जाता है because you are buying the policy in wholesale, right? Or for all the employees. And there are other life insurance products as well. ठीक है? अच्छा, how do you determine, out of the context जा रहा हूँ, not exam relative, how do you determine should you obtain LIC or not? Like life insurance product you should take or not? And if yes, then what should be the amount? कितना प्रीमियम वाला, कितना टेन्योर, कितना सम अश्योर्ड वाला LIC? Any idea? How do you determine? How should you think about this point? क्या सोचोगे? What will you think?
तो
Hmm?
हम सबने LIC लिया है वैसे तो, यहाँ पे भी जितने भी बच्चे हैं, और हम लोगों को पड़ा 1888 रुपीज।
So this I was going to anyway ask later on, जब अपन full fledged LIC chapter अभी ये वाला चालू करेंगे LIC. So if you don't know, the name of our class is LearnIt Classes, right? So that is LIC that you are insured for CA exam. I am talking about right now your life insurance. Life. If you are considering CA as your life, then that is different. But CA is not life, right? So tell me, life insurance, what will you think? How exactly will you determine? Should you go for LIC or not?
Sir, it will be based on the plans
It will be based on the plans
provided by the agent.
provided by the company. But they can fool you, na? You should be aware about what is your requirement. So there are many consideration. Few of the important consideration is first important, very important, and who all are dependent upon you, right? So if a lot of persons are already dependent upon you, and if you go, right, so then definitely you need to have LIC in that case. Secondly, if you leave emotional part, then financially you will have to calculate ki at what age are you in currently. What should be your thought process, that if you are young then what, then you should take LIC, or if you are old then you should take? Quickly tell me. If you are old then should you take LIC, or if you are young then you should take the LIC?
Sir, in the case
यंग।
of
Huh?
sir, old.
Old or young? If young then why? If old then why?
यंग, क्योंकि प्रीमियम कम रहेगा मे बी।
प्रीमियम कम मिल जाएगा, कम प्रीमियम में मिल
मे बी।
जाएगा. सो प्रीमियम
Sir,
कम मिल रहा है बिकॉज ऑफ योर हेल्थ कंडीशन ना. सो कंसिडरिंग दैट, don't, okay fine, that could be one point, but the major consideration is not that. It should be young, but the point of discussion here is why, because see, there are two types of capital. One is financial capital and other is human capital. Financial capital you will determine कि कितना तुम अर्न कर रहे हो financially, how much you are earning and how much capital you already have, wealth कितना है तुम्हारे पास, right? And human capital is what you will be going to earn in next few years or till the end of your life. And every year you will be going to earn suppose 50 lakh once year till average, on an average 50 lakh, right? So that discounting you will have to do and correct calculate the present value of that human capital. And उतने का अमाउंट, उतने का लॉस अगर हो गया, अगर आज गए तुम, टपक गए, if you die today, and who will bear that loss, human capital जो loss है, except for that emotional part I tell you, right? Leave that emotional concern, but this human capital loss will also be there, right? You would have earned every year that much amount, and the discounted present value of today is this much amount, so that much sum assured you should take in LIC. So that you need to have a thought process. Let's not invest more time on that. Let's move ahead now. ठीक है, disclosure requirement. Come to contingent liability. First of all, in this table you have to go through this contingent liability, very important. 4 to 5 mark question also comes generally from here, regarding all the contingent liability disclosure and other points which are marked in red or which are bold. ठीक है, वो important है, which are marked in red or which are bold. So let's see first of all contingent liabilities. The following shall be disclosed by way of notes to the balance sheet. Contingent liabilities. So first could be your partly paid up investment. Suppose you have made an investment in any company, you already have so much of inflow of money, right? As an insurance company, you will be getting so much premium from the public. So what will you do with all that money? You will be probably investing. Now you have made some certain investment and those are partly paid up. So it could so be arise that a situation can arise where you have to fully paid up your investment, right? So that is your contingent liability, contingent upon the call money that they will call for. Similarly, underwriting commitments outstanding. So you might have underwritten certain shares of the IPO. So generally, insurance companies are the underwriters in the case of IPO, FPNDO. In case there is under subscription, then the remaining 90% minimum subscription should be there as per SEBI. So 90% of the prescribed amount has to be there for the subscription to qualify your IPO as successful. And therefore, in that case, if 90% is not satisfied, then underwriters will subscribe, right? And insurance companies are generally the underwriters. So that is also contingent liability. What if the under subscription happens for any given IPO of which you are the underwriter? And then claims other than those under policies not acknowledged as debt. Not acknowledged as debt means what? Till now we have not acknowledged it as liability. However, these are claims that is made on insurance company, right? So there are so many claims which are put on insurance company, because generally you will find that insurance company, they will give their life but will not accept the claim. They'll give their everything but will not accept the claim, right? If you can understand the meaning, what I'm trying to say is that they won't generally accept the claim easily. They will insert one or the other clause from the insurance policy and will try to avoid the claim. So that is why more or less you will find कि कोर्ट में इंश्योरेंस क्लेम चलते रहते हैं upon the insurance company, and insurance company is again fighting back. That is also a contingent liability, right? Then guarantees given by or on behalf of the company. So any guarantee which is given by or any behalf of the company, then also it's a contingent liability. Statutory demand liability which is in dispute, like income tax dispute में चल रहा है, what income tax you should have paid, GST liability, service tax, whatever be the case. Reinsurance obligation to the extent not provided for in the accounts. So whatever reinsurance obligation that is till now not you have provided in the accounts but you will provide later, is again a contingent liability based upon the risk that you will transfer to the other insurer. And obviously others, that is to be specified any other contingent liability. So these are the contingent liability that you need to see. ठीक है, paid up equity investment, partly paid up, sorry, not paid up, partly paid up. Then underwriting, फिर then claims which is not acknowledged as debt, not acknowledged as debt but those are claims. देन गारंटी हो गया, स्टैट्यूटरी डिमांड्स अंडर डिस्प्यूट हो गया, कोर्ट कचहरी में चल रहे जो, रीइंश्योरेंस ऑब्लिगेशंस टू द एक्सटेंट नॉट प्रोवाइडेड फॉर, एंड अदर्स. ठीक है, now see other disclosure that actual assumption for valuation of liability, whatever liability you will value, the actual assumption you have to disclose for life policies in force. Encumbrances to the assets. What do you mean by encumbrances to the assets? What do you mean by it? Encumbrances. An encumbered asset. You must have heard this, right? Encumbered assets सुने हो ना? Unencumbered, encumbered.
So like pledging.
Pledging you can say, or created charge upon upon your assets. So if you have created any charge on your assets of the company, then also you'll have to disclose it. ठीक है? Claim settled and remaining unpaid for a period of more than 6 months as on closing date. So this you can write as a point which is similar to Caro. Caro में एक point is there, one point is there with respect to statutory liability, statutory dues. So those have to be paid, and if not paid as on the last date, you will find if it is not paid till 6 months, 6 महीने हो गए, since 6 months it has not yet paid, then that has to be disclosed under Caro by the auditor. Similarly, here also insurance company also, if you have settled the claim, that means you have accepted the claim, but you have not yet paid to the claimant for 6 months has happened as on the closing date. That means what? As at 31st March. So you must have settled it on before 30th September, right? So in that case, you will have to disclose here. Similarly, there are other disclosure points. All significant accounting policy you have to disclose. Any departure from major accounting policy, if you are departing from any major accounting policy, that also you'll have to disclose. Following information relating to investments made by in accordance with any statutory requirement should be disclosed separately together with its amount, nature, security, any special rights. Segregation into performing, non-performing investment for purpose of income recognition. So all these disclosure have to be carried out. Important one is percentage of business sector wise. That means all sector wise percentage you have to see कि fire का कितना percentage है, marine का कितना है, right? Generally other बाकी सबका तुमको percentage wise बताना है. Similarly, summary of financial statement for the last 5 years. Last 5 years important summary also you have to prepare and provide for accounting ratios and all. Now come to accounting principles for preparation of financial statement. Accounting principles. So AS की applicability wise I have already told you AS3 cash flow statement में whether direct method is prescribed or indirect method, or both can be chalega, both can be applied. In the case of insurance company, whether direct method of cash flow statement preparation is applied or indirect. Direct. Then Lakshmi is saying direct. Pooja is also saying direct. Everyone is saying direct, right? So just now we saw also what? Keys receipt and payment account बनता है इसलिए. Not indirect method of cash flow statement is not applicable. Similarly, there are other ways where they are saying कि balance sheet, revenue account ये सब बनेगा. Receipt and payment, profit and loss account shall be in conformity with the accounting standard except AS3 where it is prepared only under direct method. ये एक exception हो गया तुम्हारा. Second exception is with respect to AS17 segment reporting that they said will apply to all insurer irrespective of the requirement regarding listing and turnover. So there could be certain condition कि तुम्हारा ये जो segment है that should generate at least 10% of the revenue, at least 10% of the profit. If not, then you will not show it as a separate segment. But that is not applicable in the case of insurance company. They said that they have to report under segment reporting as per AS17 irrespective of their listing and turnover. Doesn't matter. Then value of investment, this point will also see later part in the GIC. So this will spending, this will also see in GIC. They say ki see investment now they have given pura India's. If you see if you open the insurance chapter SMA, they will specify all India's related points. So I have not included those points because those points will already be going through in India's 40 investment property हो गया या other investments हो गए तुम्हारे जो भी. So 109 specifically financial instruments. So all those points I have not included where you will already be studying in FR. But except special points, if at all is there, then that points I have included, like this point, unlisted and other than actively traded equity security का कैसे करोगे? So what is other than actively traded securities? Other than actively traded securities, thinly traded securities. And then what do you mean by thinly traded security? Thinly traded securities जिसका volume is less than 10,000. So these all points you will see also in GIC. So let's not invest any time here right now. We'll go through this again. But let me make you aware about the fact that I have not included all the points for all these accounting policies and accounting treatment matters. See, accounting treatment matters, accounting policies have anyway not yet been asked by the ICAI because they already know, you already are aware about all these facts in the as per FR knowledge. So any special points, if at all, which we are not aware about in India's, then only I have included here. ठीक है, loans का it's simple only, amortized cost method में ही होगा हमेशा, loans तो हमेशा ACM में होगा, whether how will you carry it in fair value, right? It will always be in ACM. Similarly, ULIP business, funds for future appropriation, all this you can see. Now come to general instruction for preparation of FS. This has been asked in exam for 5 marks. Straight away 5 marks question was asked. General instruction for preparation of financial statement. So there are lot many general instruction. I have included only 3 general instruction which is a bit different as compared to others. However, you will write all the general instructions that you can think of it, if at all it is asked again. So corresponding amounts, this I have also included in GIC anyway. So this you will find it in detail, general instruction for preparation of financial statement. For LIC, they say what corresponding amounts for the immediately preceding financial year shall be given in financial statement. Immediately preceding financial year का तो देते ही है. Just now yesterday also we saw ऐसे 710 corresponding figure. You have to mention, right? Corresponding figure देना ही है. Figures in the financial statement may be rounded off to the nearest thousand. Important. Rounding off to nearest thousand mandatory है. ठीक है? उसके ऊपर कर रहे हैं तो that is also cool, but nearest thousand तो minimum है. Then interest, dividend, rental receivable in connection with an investment equals to gross amount, etc. etc. What is this saying? जो भी तुम्हारा इंटरेस्ट मिलता है, जो भी तुमको डिविडेंड मिलता है, रेंट मिलता है, ठीक है, in connection with any investment that you make, whatever interest, rent that you receive, whether do you receive gross or net of TDS? We receive net of TDS, right? Yes or no? Everyone, rent, interest, we receive net of TDS. But in income statement, shall we show it net of TDS or should we show gross amount? If we are receiving 100 lakhs and minus 10% we receive in our bank account 90 lakhs, then should we show 100 lakhs as our income or 90 lakhs?
100.
100, right? So that is what I have written this in short कि interest हो गया, dividend हो गया, rent receivable हो गया. In connection with any investment you will receive net amount, but you will show what? Gross amount, etc. etc. Whatever point you can think of, right? ठीक है? Yes or no? Now come to part 4. Part 4 deals with contents of management report, which is more or less similar to director responsibility statement. If you no, not director responsibility statement, but more or less similar to board report. So if you are aware about board report, then you'll probably link with the same कि वही मोटा माटी वही points है that board used to discuss amongst each other and then has to report. So content of management report is same like board report. You can give it a reading and understand it properly. I'll just try to first retain all the points. Straight away we will focus on retention of the points because they can ask simply straight away the question what कि इसमें से which of the following point is not under content of the management report, which of the following point is not discussed in management's report in insurance company. This question they have asked, I think, in RTP or MTP, right? So you should be aware about all the points, what points they have given. So first, वैलिडिटी ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन, यू नीड टू बी वेरी डेट कि जो रजिस्ट्रेशन हमारा वैलिड है इट इज स्टिल वैलिड, द रजिस्ट्रेशन इज स्टिल वैलिड एज ऑन डेट. And then again you have to obtain a certificate that all dues payable to the statutory authorities have been paid. टनाटन सब चीज क्लियर है. Statutory dues or have been all duly paid. Confirmation that shareholding pattern, transfer of shares are as per requirements. So shareholding pattern, any transfer of share is as per requirements. Disclosure with regards to overall risk exposure, strategy adopted to mitigate the risk. So overall risk क्या है? How do you exactly strategize to mitigate the risk? These are all discussed by the board of directors, right? Similarly, these are all discussed by the management of the insurance company and given in the management report. Similarly, operation in any other country, investment outside is not allowed. Specifically, if you are using policyholder ka fund, I told you policyholder fund is very important. These are the funds of general public. You cannot invest like anywhere. You have to invest in India only. They have said issued in India. If the funds of policyholder which is issued in India, you have to not invest outside India. And then life insurance fund has been applied in contravention of that. Then also you have to specifically mention कि कोई fund have you applied in contravention of the Insurance Act. Certification as to how investment valuation has been carried out. How have you carried out the investment valuation? Solvency margin जितनी चाहिए उतनी maintain है. That means 50 CR. Right? Yes or no, everyone? Then valuation of all assets have been reviewed as on balance sheet date. Indicate trends in average claim settlement time of preceding 5 years. So how much time generally you take? How much time generally you take to settle the claims? that you have accepted during the last 5 years, how much time generally you take? 2 days, 3 days, 7 days, 11 days, 15 days? How much time generally you take to settle the claims? Average claim settlement time of preceding 5 years. Then review of asset quality and performance of investment in terms of portfolios, that is separately in terms of real estate loans, investment, etc. And lastly, responsibility statement, which is more or less same as DRS. So I'm not going to go through all this point, because if you will go through DRS under company audit section 134 subsection 3 clause C, you will go through anyway. ठीक है, वहां पे मैंने याद कराया है अच्छे से. आई हैव मेड यू लर्न द DRS all 6 points. So Dhanlakshmi, just hold on. Let's just quickly learn this point and then we'll take a break. ठीक है, let's try to learn all the points till 11th or 12th point. Let's try to go through all the points and then we'll take a break. Last 2 minutes before break, pay attention. So first is validity of the registration. The first point that you need to focus upon is whether the registration is still valid or not, and have I paid all the dues that is payable. Have I paid all the dues that is payable, whether the registration is valid or not. These are the two positive points that you will review, right? These are the two positive points that you will check. Similarly, you will also check कि shareholding pattern and transfer of share as per requirement हुआ ना, and क्या मेरी overall risk है, what is the overall risk, and strategy how I am doing to adopt and to mitigate the risk. Then one of the risk was, if I invest in another country, or what happens if I want to do operation in other countries. So if I want to do operation in other country, then obviously I'll have to invest also outside. So but investment is not allowed, right? Investment outside, I want to invest outside because I want to carry out my operation in other countries also. So therefore I want to invest outside India. However, investment from policyholder fund is not allowed, and even if it is not allowed, I invested anyway I invested, and therefore this is a application of fund which is in contravention of the insurance act, right? This is application of the fund which is contravention of the insurance act, and therefore now you have to be very wary of the solvency margin. All assets have been reviewed, and average claim settlement period regarding that also, because any complaint against you, you will be dragged in the court of law. So solvency margin also you have to be wary about. All assets have been reviewed as on the balance sheet date. Average claim settlement period कितना है वो भी तुमको मिनिमम से मिनिमम करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है. So accordingly I have, you know, assembled all the points sequentially, so that there is some flow is created in which will help to, you know, to learn all the points in the answer. So you can go through this once again. Let's take a quick break. We'll meet at 3:35. ठीक है, चलो. So let's try to complete LIC at least fully. Then we can start with GIC. So audit of accounts of LIC. Audit of accounts of LearnIt Classes. So areas which are peculiar to life insurance business are enumerated below. This is the question which was asked in this attempt. ठीक है, actuarial process, and what is the role of auditor, and what is the role of actuaries in LIC business. What is the role of actuaries? What is the role of auditor? This was the exact question. Straightforward. 3 line, 4 line question asked straight away for 5 marks. ठीक है. So you cannot ignore any point, right? That is the focus. Areas which are peculiar to life insurance business, first of all, they have started with what? Actuarial process. Role of auditor. Auditor's role here is to certify that whatever actuarial valuation they have done, whatever certificate actuaries have issued, whether is it proper or just in accordance with the guidelines which is issued by Actuarial Science of India and the guidelines which is issued by IRDA. ठीक है, it should be in accordance with the guidelines issued by Actuarial Science of India, and it should be in accordance with the guideline issued by IRDA. So certify whether actuarial valuation of liability is duly certified by actuarials. ठीक है, first point. Secondly, you have to also, you can rely upon the certificate which is issued by actuary. The actuaries generally do what? They certify that the policy liability and whatever valuation that they are arriving at regarding liability valuation and whatever valuation they generally do, that is correct. So certificate they will issue, and as an auditor you can also rely upon their certificate. However, you can also discuss with the actuaries with respect to the what process they have followed, what process they have actually followed with regard to assumptions that they have made in arriving at the valuation of all these liability. So they will of course value the liabilities, right? Valuation of all these liabilities, they will carry out for certain assumptions, they will carry out other processes. So what processes they have followed and what assumptions they have made, that you can also discuss with the actuary. So your auditor, as an auditor, your role is to certify कि जो actuaries ने valuation ली है that is in accordance with IRDA and ASI. ASI is what? Actuarial Science of India. And secondly, you have to also, you can generally rely upon the certificate which is issued by actuary with respect to valuation of liabilities, and you can obviously discuss with the actuaries. ठीक है? Secondly, what are the role of actuaries now in life insurance business? That is to concentrate on following key areas. See here, management reporting on various business valuations and profitability models. So this modeling pura as a whole is what? Forecasting, right? Forecasting, modeling, various business valuations is all done by whom? Actuaries. So actuaries, if you are aware about what actually they do, actuaries in actual, they are generally hired for forecasting, for preparation of the models, in assessment of the risk, how much claim can arise in future, what can be the future scenario situation. So generally for these actuaries are hired and they are highly paid profession. If you are aware about this, it's a highly paid profession, and it's seriously very tough to clear all the levels of actuaries. So not many have cleared in India. Overall in India, there are very few actuaries who have cleared all the levels of actuarial science. So management reporting on various business valuation, profitability models. Similarly, statutory valuation, if you are required to do all any sort of statutory valuation, reserving. Similarly, then solvency management, you need to be aware that what situation can arise in future that might hamper our going concern, that might hamper our solvency ratios, solvency margins, right? And then accordingly, you might also be hired for business planning. Product development, like various products are there of LICs, right? There are so many bima, ye bima, falna bima, jivan bima, jivan raksha. There are so many products, right? Similarly, business planning. And lastly, model development. What exactly is your model? Model development. So I had made a trick to recall all those points. And if anyone had seriously taken all these tricks, then they would have also find the value, benefit in the exam, right? This attempt, right? So business valuation, statutory valuation decreased. Business valuation and statutory valuation have decreased. So अभी solvency manage करने के लिए, since business valuation कम हो गई है ना, so therefore अभी now solvency manage करने के लिए, for managing the solvency, we have planned a business plan किया है, where every product have a model that we need to develop. So there every product we will develop a model. So for their every product, and product के अंदर there are different models. So just like car also, if you see, so there is a one car Maruti Suzuki, then there are so many models, right? Swift Desire, there are so many models. Model develop करना, product देखना, right? Manage solvency manage करना, business valuation decrease हो गया, statutory valuation कम हो गया है. Those are all the points which as an actuary you will be required to take care of. Role of actuaries: management reporting on business valuation, statutory valuation, solvency management, business planning, product development, model development. ठीक है? Then come underwriting. Underwriting, what do you mean by underwriting in the case of insurance? Underwriting, yeah.
So insurance business को underwrite करना by the underwriters.
So underwrite karna means what do you mean by underwrite karna? Who are all the underwriters? Like in like what work I do, so we sanction a loan to the clients like Federal Bank or any other entity, Vedanta or any other sort of work. So we also take approval from underwriters which are there in our department, which are there in our company. Underwriter risk से बचना. So underwrite करना means what? You have to underwrite the insurance business. Risk से बचना is मोटा माटी okay, got to the context only, but underwriting is what? Assessing the scenario, selecting the cases which will be favorable to you. So underwriting, like we also give, when will you give loan to me? Suppose I am coming to you and asking you to give loan to me. So when will you give loan to me? When you will assess my financials, right? What is my business model? How is my financials performing? Whether I have defaulted in the past. So all these criteria, there will be so n number of criteria that you will see. Then only you will sanction a loan to me, right? Similarly, if I come to you for insurance, I want insurance, I want myself to get insured, then I am willing to pay the premium of rupee 1 lakh. Suppose premium of rupee 10,000 per annum. Then will you be accepting straight away, fine, okay, customer has come, then okay, let's insure him and let's take a premium of 10,000? No, definitely you will be assessing what level of risk am I bringing it to you. So you will assess the risk and then accordingly select whether you should accept the insurance business, whether you should transact the insurance business or not, right? So that is underwriting process of verifying risk level in each entrant is called selection or underwriting. Underwriter will do what? Assess the risk and determines the premium, how much premium you should charge. They'll assess how much risk you are carrying with the insurance that you want and how much premium can you bring to the table. Functions of the underwriter is to acquire or to write business that will bring money to insurance company and to protect the company's business from any risk that they will make loss. So we have to select those businesses where we feel that we will make profit, right? It should not so happen that we are making loss by paying out the claims. The premium that we received overall, we are making the payment or to claimants more than what the premium that we received. Okay, it should not be so. As an auditor, your objective is to review the process of acceptance of risk. Exactly what is the policy? How exactly you accept the risk? What is your risk appetite? And accordingly, everything has to be seen. And similarly, test the effectiveness of all the internal control with respect to the underwriting process. Internal control to everywhere you will find. Internal control everywhere it comes. Now come reinsurance. So reinsurance also I have explained it to you, right? Suppose I have done the insurance of India Pakistan high voltage match, right? High voltage match ka I have done the insurance that if at all rain occurs, then whatever money that the stadium or the BCCI will have to pay back to the audience as a ticket, I will bear it. I will bear it. The losses I will bear. Okay? This insurance I have done, and now suddenly I have seen the forecasting. It has changed. Suddenly it's showing that it will rain probably, and therefore I am really bit worried that I'll have to make the losses. Instead of that, I can do what? Transfer the risk to different reinsurer. I can transfer the risk if I feel that the risk might be over my appetite as an insurance. Every insurer has a risk appetite, right? Similarly, every bank also has a risk appetite. If you are aware about that, that is called as risk weighted capital. रिस्क वेटेड कैपिटल इतना मिनिमम RWA तुमको मेंटेन करना पड़ता है इन द केस ऑफ बैंक्स आल्सो. So if I am granting a loan of 1 crore to any person, then for that 1 CR I have to maintain a capital, risk capital that will be set aside. And if I am making a loan in exceeding the risk capital that I have, then I'll have to infuse the capital again from the shareholder or from anywhere, but that has to be done. So every loan or transaction or every business that you make, even in the insurance business, every insurance that you enter transact, that also has to be adequate capital has to be maintained for that. And therefore if you feel that you are transacting over and above your risk appetite, you can transfer that risk to other reinsurance company. But obviously that other reinsurance company, will it accept the risk for free? Will it accept? No, obviously they will ask the proportionate premium that you received from the client for accepting the risk. Then if I am accepting the risk, I will again accept the same proportion of the risk premium that you charge. I will accept the premium or even higher or even lower. That depends upon the negotiation power of the insurance companies, right? So risk underwritten by one insurer is transferred partially to another insurer. Role of auditor is to confirm that reinsurance premium calculation and payment is as per the agreement. So calculation and payment have to be seen. Calculation and payment have to be seen in particular. Very, very important, calculation and payment. Secondly, provision has to be made for outstanding reinsurance premium and properly accounted in the books of account. That means what? If you have suppose transferred the risk to the reinsurer, however you have not yet made the premium proportionate premium का payment तुमने नहीं किया अभी तक. You have not paid the proportionate premium amount till now. So what will the entry be? So provision or outstanding premium to reinsurer. This is your expense, na? This will be debited to reinsurer. Suppose X Limited. This is the liability that you have to give to the reinsurer, the premium amount, and this is your expense now. Since this premium, when you received the premium, you recognized it as revenue, right? So now this is not your revenue, this is your expense. This will you write off or this you will reverse. because this is now your liability. So that is what they are saying. Provision has been made for outstanding reinsurance premium is properly accounted in the books of account. Then verify the agreements entered with the reinsurer, update renewals of the agreement. If at all you feel that agreement is outdated or new points has to be included, new clauses have to be included in the reinsurance, then you can obviously update and amend the agreements as well. Now come to free look cancellation. Free look cancellation. So free look cancellation, important concept. They've also tested this in exam. So free look cancellation is you have given 15 days grace time period, 15 days time period where you can cancel the policy that you have taken after you have received the policy documents, and only in the case, only in one case you can cancel. The case being when you, after seeing the policy documents, you find that certain terms and conditions are not as what they told earlier. So certain terms and conditions, generally they will do these manipulations and all, right? So whenever you find that the terms and condition what they specified is not as per, is not what they promised or what they told, so in that case within 15 days you can cancel the policy. Within 15 days you can cancel the policy. Insurer shall inform to the insured that he has, for a period of within 15 days from the date of receipt of the document, policy document, to review the terms and condition of the policy. First of all, we will review TNCs, and where the insured disagree to any of the terms and conditions, then you have the right, you have the option to return the policy, stating reason for why you are objecting the policy and why you are returning the policy. Within 15 days you have to do so. You have only got 15 days time. Now request can be received through any mode, either email, fax, letter, doesn't matter, and you need to do the same sign, same signature should be there, so same signature should match. Now refund is paid either by check, or if policyholder wants direct credit, then consent for direct credit along with cancel check for bank account details is submitted. So if you want, then you can give the bank detail, account details, and or you can also receive the check. Then that check you can deposit in your bank account. Okay. Important point to note here is again FLC refund. FLC refund means what? Free look cancellation refund is calculated. Is to be calculated. Suppose you paid premium of 50,000. Suppose you paid a premium of 50,000. Now you return the amount in 10 days. And you return the policy in 10 days. You did not like the terms and condition. You find it unfavorable as against what was told earlier to you. And therefore, you are returning the policy within 10 days. So proportionate risk premium, that is 10 upon 365 into 50,000, you will reduce. Getting this? Proportionate risk premium we will reduce. Why we are reducing proportionate risk premium? Because suppose you might have incurred losses in suppose fifth day only. So would you have returned the policy? No, obviously you would have claimed the claims. You would have claimed then, right? The expenses or whatever cost that you would have incurred, you will claim. If you would have incurred the risk, if you would have, the risk would have assumed. So the insurance company has already started assuming the risk, right? They have already started assuming the risk. So for that, they will charge a certain amount, and therefore proportionate risk premium will have to be reduced for 10 days. Similarly, medical charges, if any by the insurer has been carried out, then also it will have to be reduced, because then ultimately what will you do? If suppose I have to get my heart checkup or any sort of checkup, then I'll go to insurance company, because anyway insurance company will be doing the health checkup and all everything. But that health checkup is a cost which is incurred by the insurance company if you are taking up the policy. If you are not taking up the policy, you are breaking the policy, if you are returning the policy, then that cost will be transferred to you. And how will they transfer? They will simply reduce the premium paid amount to be refunded to you. The refund amount they will reduce it. Okay, what amounts they will reduce refund amount? They will reduce by two things. Firstly, proportionate risk premium. Secondly, your medical charges. I hope it is clear, everyone. Auditor role of auditor, just quickly read these 2 points. Then we'll start with policy lapse and revival. If any doubt till now, any doubt, please go through the same and ask. Yes. टेस्ट का क्या स्टेटस है? टेस्ट ऑन ऐसे 500 सब लोग रेडी है क्या? सो आई विल शेयर द पेपर, टेस्ट पेपर. और स्टिल नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड? प्रिपेयर्ड सुनेश्वरन. almost done, and rest कल चाहिए पेपर. ठीक है, take one more day, but take this test seriously, properly, because 500 you will expect. I expect at least a question or two question from the standard ऐसे 500 की series. ठीक है, very important standard series for CA final. Now come to policy lapse and revival. Policy lapse and revival. So when will the policy be lapsed? Lapsed. That means now no more you will be enjoying the benefit. You won't be no more enjoying the benefit. When will this happen? When will the policy lapse? Huh?
Premium paid on due time.
Premium is not paid on due time, correct? Right? So generally you get a grace period if you are not paying it in due date, on due date, you will get a grace period of around 15 or 30 days. Okay? If you are not paying even after that, then your premium will be, then your policy will be lapsed. And if you are paying within 15 or 30 grace period days, then your policy will continue from the retrospective date only. ठीक है, जिस दिन से ड्यू डेट थी, your policy will be continuing from the retrospective date only. So what they say, the policy will lapse if you are not paying the amount within grace days also. If you are not paying the amount, then your policy will get lapsed, and this lapsation will affect all the three parties. Which three party? Policyholder, insurance company, agent. Policyholder will be affected because policyholder will no longer enjoy the benefits insurance, right? Insurance company will uh, affect because they will no longer get the premium, and agent will be affected because they will no longer get the commission, right? So all the three parties are affected. Please just go through this. This is your homework. Now policy surrender, you will see that it is a voluntary termination of contract. voluntary means what? We insured जा रहा है खुद terminate करने contract को. He doesn't know, he doesn't want policy to continue anymore. So policy holder is trying to surrender the policy, is trying to terminate the contract before even expiry of the contract term, because he doesn't want to pay any premium more or whatever be the case. Then you can surrender at surrender value. So suppose 1 lakh, till now you have paid 1 lakh premium, then generally you will find that 55,000 or 60,000 is the surrender value. So if you surrender the policy now, you will get 60,000 back, and then you will no longer be liable to make the payment for insurance. The process is initiated by the policyholder when policy becomes eligible for surrender. When does it become eligible for surrender? They have given it on completion of 3 years from commencement of policy, provided that 3 years have been paid within due dates. So within 3 years, if you after 3 years, sorry, not within 3 years, after 3 years of the policy premium being paid regularly, if you feel that you want to surrender the policy, then you can surrender. Before that, if you are trying to surrender or voluntarily give away the policy, then you won't get any benefit, not even surrender value. You will not be even enjoying that. The policyholder has to submit surrender request from duly signed off by him at branch processing center along with the original policy document and the discharge voucher. Policy can be surrendered only when the insured person is alive. Obviously, if you are surrendering the policy, you need to be alive. If you are dead, then why will they give you surrender value, right? Then they will, the claim will happen. Claim cost will be borne. Role of auditor, again, primary objective is to confirm that surrender requests are received from the same policyholder, and therefore you will check what? Sign वगैरह check कर लेना. Similarly, check whether surrender amount is paid only to the policyholder, is not paid as per the terms and condition mentioned in policy document. That means it has to be paid only as per terms and condition. It has to be paid only to the policyholder and not their relatives and all. An appropriate accounting entry has been passed. Simple. Premium collection, accounting and reconciliation. Now premium wise, if you see, how will you do the accounting? So premium wise, they witnessed like whatever new business premium, you will see there is a difference in the premium, new business premium and subsequent renewal premium. So in GST also, if you remember, new business premium may, we used to consider 25% of the premium as value of service, value for service. So 25% of value we used to consider for value of service provided. Similarly, in the case of renewal premium, we used to consider what? 12.5%. If I am not wrong, I don't recollect exactly, but that was used to be happen, right? New business premium में 25%, renewal premium में 12.5%. Premium received but not identifiable against any policy, then you will transfer it to suspense, although this is less likely to happen given IT dominated environment, right? So it is less likely to less likely to find that you are not able to identify against any policy whatever premium you received, because that you will have to transfer it to suspense account or unallocated premium account. Yeah. So following points have to be noted while recognizing the premium. Okay. So when new policy is issued, the new business premium is recognized on realization of the premium. So obviously you will recognize the premium only when you realize the premium. That means cash is received. That means what? Cash received. So you'll recognize the premium as cash account debited to premium income. Yes or no? Generally, policy is issued only after receipt of first premium. Policy will issue only after we have received the first installment of the premium. However, in certain cases, policies are issued awaiting realization of premium. For example, policies are issued subject to realization of checks issued. Auditor is required to check these cases where you have issued the policies but not have received the premium. Renewal income, you can recognize renewal income. The above point we were reading is as per first business premium, right? New business premium. Now we are studying renewal income is recognized on realization of the premium amount. When you realize the premium amount, renewal premium amount, or when the premium is due but not received up to the end of the grace period. So up to the end of grace period, if you still have not received the premium amount, you just recognize the proportionate premium because you assumed the risk for that grace period also, right? So you'll recognize the premium, although it will be outstanding, advance. That is, it will be shown as asset in the balance sheet, right? Then auditors are required to follow during the audit of accounting of premium, collection of premium. That means collection has to be done in separate bank account. As I told you, collection has to be done in separate bank account. No withdrawal should happen from that separate bank account. Premium, because this is a premium fund, is of whom? Premium fund is of general public in large. You cannot simply toy with the premium fund. Then check whether there is any daily reconciliation process to be carried out to reconcile the amounts collected. Calculation of the premium. How exactly do you calculate premium amount and its due dates? Check that system is equipped to calculate all types of premium modes correctly or not. So you have to then perform the procedure with respect to calculation. Then you will recognize the income. So you will recognize the income. Suppose you received the cash, but this is in advance. That means premium you have received. However, policy has not yet started. Premium you received, but policy has not yet started. So you'll do what? You'll recognize advance premium, right? Premium received in advance. Premium received in advance account. Yes or no? Cash account you received and premium received in advance account you will write. And then when you apply this advance premium, so then you will reverse this premium advance premium account debit and then recognize the premium income. Income you will recognize when the policy starts or when you have realized the cash, whichever is later. When you have realized the cash or when the policy starts, whichever is later. So that is what they have given. Premium is recognized only on the basis of issued policy and not on underwriting dates. All premium collected are correctly allocated to all employees. Sorry, I am reading wrong. Advance premium. See, check whether system has capability to identify regular and advance premium. And there is a process for applying advance premium to contracts. So this is the process. How you apply advance premium to premium income account. Getting this? Reporting of premium figures to IRDA management methodology for creation of the MIS, generation of the MIS, whatever is the methodology, you should also have to report it to IRDA and management. And other areas it deals with standard operating procedure, delegation of authority, standard of segregation of duty. So SOP हो गया, SOD हो गया, delegation हो गया. All these are last points. ठीक है? Any doubt? Go through the same again. So you have to compare with practical examples or other things. Do some research. Try to get involved, get interest. ठीक है? Now come to claims part. So claims are nothing but customer when they get benefited, they will claim the benefit amount and we will have to pay as an insurance company, we'll have to pay the claim cost, right? So claim could be of different types. Death claim हो गया, maturity पे claim हो गया, annuity wise claim हो गया, that annuity we paid and now every year we will get certain amount. Health claim हो गया, rider claim मतलब समझते हो what do you mean by rider claim? So see, whenever you come across certain new terms in other audits, you'll tend to get involved when you search upon them, right? So rider claim is nothing like but it's certain extra benefit that you get over and above other policy holder. So there could be one rider benefit, rider claim, and then policy surrender हो गए, other survival benefits. These are all what my claims, right? So auditors are requested to follow during the audit of claims the following points. Review standard policy document first of all. स्टैंडर्ड पॉलिसी डॉक्यूमेंट टेम्पलेट मिलेगा तुमको एक, वही स्टैंडर्ड पॉलिसी डॉक्यूमेंट टेम्पलेट यू शुड यूज to ensure that the policy document prescribes the minimum documentary evidence needed to support a claim. Appropriate provision has been carried out, so provisioning you will have to check first. In case all the claims are intimated but not paid. So if you have intimated the claims but the claims has not been paid, then obviously you'll have to create a liability for that, and that liability is what provisions. Similarly, it should also be ensured that claims cost include the claim settlement cost. Claim cost should include the claim settlement cost. What does this mean? Claim settlement cost. See, the claim that you will claim, you will charge upon me, right? So suppose you incurred your vehicle accident, or here we are, right now we are studying what LIC. So let's take LIC example only. So LIC, the death happened. So the relatives will come and ask from me the claim amount, right? So that is claim cost, claim amount. That is claim amount, right? And another one is claim settlement cost. So I'll have to go and check what was the cause of death. Is it because of suicide or something where the insurance company is not liable for making the payment? So that everything has to be assessed, right? So these are all what were claim settlement costs. Like in case of GIC, if fire broke out in a shop. So generally insurance company will see and check whether the fire broke out because of negligence or it was deliberately the fire happened. So that all these cases settlement, FIR, all photocopy damages, loss assurances, loss surveyor, everyone will charge, right, some amount to insurance company, and these are all what claim settlement costs. However, claim settlement costs are also to be included in claim cost only. Claim settlement cost alag nahi hai. Claim settlement costs are non, you can say auxiliary causes. You will incur secondary causes cost. So this cost also to be included with claim cost only. ठीक है? It should be ensured that claim cost includes the claim settlement cost. Ensure that the insurer maintains a register or record of claims. So whatever register or record you can keep with you, a claim record, claim register, and all claims received are registered and entered into the system only. Then any discrepancy, then you should communicate with the policyholder within 15 days of intimation. So there is a system of collecting appropriate KYC document, and discrepancy if any are to be intimated to the policyholder within 15 days. If policyholder is not submitting proper KYC, so you can submit back to the policyholder stating that these are the discrepancies, deficiencies. You should correctly rectify the same within 15 days of intimation, and liability of claims should be booked net of reinsurance. This is a mandatory requirement that liability of the claim liability are to be booked net of reinsurance. Net of reinsurance means what? Suppose I am the co-reinsurer, so I'll receive the I'll receive the claim, right? So I'll have to debit the debtor. Debtor means what? My client insured, X Limited insured will be debited, and liability I'll credit. But they are saying that liability of claim should be booked net of reinsurance. So this net of reinsurance will be what? Suppose my liability will be would have been 100. However, I have already transferred some risk to other insurance companies, say 25%. So my liability will be 75% only. That is what they were trying to say. So my liability, though this is not X Limited actually, this will be claim cost expense हुआ ना, claim cost will be debited and expense will be to X Limited. X Limited is my liability. I'll have to give payment to him. Now reconciliation should happen between claim management system and general ledger. If claim is rejected, then reason for rejection should also be closely reviewed. That is it with respect to claims. So how do you exactly recall all the points? DPS के लड़के, DPS के लड़के, DPS के लड़के बोले तो DPS. So D से तो डॉक्यूमेंट हो गया, स्टैंडर्ड पॉलिसी डॉक्यूमेंट को रिव्यू कर लो। पी से प्रोविजनिंग हो गया कि प्रोविजन कैरी आउट होनी चाहिए प्रॉपर्ली इन केस ऑल द क्लेम्स इंटीमेटेड हैव नॉट बीन पेड। एंड एस से योर सेटलमेंट कॉस्ट, दैट सेटलमेंट कॉस्ट आल्सो टू बी इंक्लूडेड विथ claim cost only. Then ensure that insurer maintains a register or record of claims. So now comes R5. DPS के लड़के R5 चलाते हैं. What is this? Can you see R5? DPS के लड़के क्या चलाते हैं? R5 चलाते हैं. DPS के लड़के R5 चलाते हैं. So R5 is first R is register or record of claim. Second R is any discrepancy you find within 15 days of intimation, you have to send the intimation. Okay, fine. Then reinsurance वाला एक point था. Then reconciliation has to be carried out. If you are rejected, then that is also to be closely reviewed. Why you have been rejected? So rejected हो गया, reviewed हो गया, reconciliation हो गया, and reinsurance हो गया, and register और record of claims भी हो गया. ठीक है? So that is how you can learn the points. LIC only. That means start revising from here. एक बार start revising from audit of accounts of life insurance actuarial process से. Just go through in 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes. Just go through the same फटाफट से. Audit of LIC. Any doubt? Ask me right away. चले चलो now investments. Investment portfolio generally you will find this is divided into two parts. Portfolio fund हो गया एक और अपना एक shareholder fund हो गया. मतलब I am using portfolios, no, sorry, portfolio fund नहीं, policy holder fund. That means whatever fund I have received from policy holder as a premium, I am using those funds to investment for the purpose of investment. And also I have my own funds, right? Own fund हो गया, shareholders के खुद के fund. That also I can invest. So investment portfolio is generally bifurcated into two parts. uh, your shareholders fund and other one is policyholder fund. Now policyholder fund could be linked or non-linked investment. Linked investment is like ULIPs. Do you remember ULIPs? जहाँ पे you are investing in units and those investments are also insured. Similarly non-linked भी होते हैं, non-linked. So that is why you have to see investment. So investment regulation prescribes separately for the following investment criteria: linked funds, pension and annuity funds, and controlled funds. Linked funds हो गए. Linked funds are the investments that you will accept the investments and you will be also providing insurance to the person who are subscribing to your investment units, subscription units. Similarly, pension and annuity funds. So pension and annuity funds are similar to those funds where at the time of retirement, then you start making the payments. And then control funds. Overall functioning of investment function should include the following independent functions. So if you are aware about any of your bhai bandhu doing after completion of your CA and doing a job in banks, particularly like jobs like banks like in JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley or banks like this, right? Barclays. So there, or even Citi, there you will find that the bank is divided in 2-3 parts: front office, middle office, back office. So back office mein generally you will find ki CAs ko generally if you are like you will find this that normally CA will get this job of fund accounting, NAV computation. One of my friend is in fund accounting, other one is in NAV computation and declaration. Few rankers can get of job in front office, dealing office also as an IB directly with front office. And then there is mid office, compliance, risk management, reporting, reconciliation. So this is also IB, investment banking, where you have to prepare the decks, you have to prepare the reports, you have to prepare the for presentation for the senior banker who will directly be dealing with the clients, right? Meeting with the clients. So for whom you will be supporting him, preparing reports and all. And lastly, there is one more department, treasury in any bank. So treasury department is very important department for any bank. If you can get into that, you will be learning a lot about economy and banking as a whole. So cash deal management, broker empanelment, custody. If you are aware about this, custody is the big, like very big business in India. Where in foreign banks, if you ask, so foreign में generally JP का has a big business in custodian as a custodian is a big custodian in India. काफी presence है JP का. Now, role of auditor: as an auditor, what you need to follow, that you need to ensure that adequate segregation of duty should be there between front office, mid office, and back office. Because front office has generally, they are contained with lot of information. And if there is no SOD na, then there could also happen insider trading. They could also make use of information with each other. right? So there should be proper SOD between investment front office, mid office, back office. Similarly, standard operating procedure has to be followed for all the investment related process, that we will make the investment only after this there is a correction of 15% in this stock, there is a correction of this, we will take up with the client only where the client has certain asset under management, AUM इतने बिलियन का होना चाहिए, AUM इतने मिलियन ट्रिलियन का होना चाहिए. So we have to follow the SOPs. SOD हो गया, and other is SOPs, standard operating procedure हो गया, standard segregation of duty हो गया. Then review of insurers investment policy. What is your investment policy? We have to review that as well, राइट. सो इन्वेस्टमेंट में एज एन ऑडिटर वी हैव ऑल दिस पॉइंट, एसओडी देखो, एसओपी देखो. देन इन्वेस्टमेंट पॉलिसी क्या है, पॉलिसी एसएसपी हो गया, ठीक है, एसओडी एसओपी एंड पी से पॉलिसी. देन कंप्लायंस ऑफ ऑल इन्वेस्टमेंट रेगुलेशन, पीआर. So all investment regulations, various other circulars specified by IRDI. Then disaster recovery backup contingency plan. So they are generally you will find disaster recovery plan, DRP and BCP, backup contingency plan, which I told you, also giving you an example of LNT. Do you remember the flood of 2008? जो बाढ़ आई थी बहुत ज्यादा, there all the servers hampered of the LNT, and therefore they have now started keeping the servers at first floor, and not only in Mumbai, they have also started keeping it in Chennai, so that there is an alternative server backup created. So BCP is there, disaster recovery is there, DRP. Then review of cash management system to track funds available for investment considering the settlement obligation and subscription. Similarly, fund wise reconciliation, what we do in fund accounting, right? This process, fund accounting, NAV computation, all this split between shareholder and policyholder funds, fund accounting again. Risk management policy, process to manage investment risk. Various extent of activity has to be outsourced, so determine those activities that needs to be outsourced to other entities and which activities we can take up. Control over NAV computation, this NAV computation is here, declaration. Various system interferences, flow of data from portfolio management service to investment accounting management system, and personal dealing, insider trading, front running. What do you mean by front running? Anyone? Front running मतलब समझते हो? Front running is like you have a certain detailed and advanced information as compared to others. So because you are a broker, so suppose there is a bulk deal which is going to flow. What is bulk deal? Bulk deal is when there is a transfer of shares which accounts for 0.5% of total equity of the company. So total number of shares of the company का 0.5% अगर transact हो रहा है एक बार में in a one trade, single trade, so then that is called as bulk deal. So if suppose you had the information about this as a bulk deal, since you are a broker and you are trying to take advantage, since it is going to be a bulk deal, so price will shoot up a bit because of the demand, right? Bulk deal 0.5% is huge volume, there will be a bit spike in the demand and bit spike in the price. So what I did, I sold the share in 2 3 rupees just above. So if the price is trading at 150, i'll I'll place a sell order at 152.5 or 153 because I expect 2 3 rupee increase because of this bulk order when it is executed. So since I had this advanced information, as I am the broker, I utilize this information. So this is called front running. Just before everyone, I utilize this information. So that is not proper, right? Then come to commission payable agent. You can just go through this all these points again and you'll follow what all points you need to write. SOD हो गया, SOP हो गया, policies देखोगे, right? Then policies के बाद regulations देखोगे if at all any regulation is covering up. Then DRP हो गया, BCP हो गया, DRP BCP. Then your NAV fund back office में I have told you, right? Fund accounting one job, NAV computation about and that NAV computation. These all points you will able to retain all these points. Then commission payable to agent, this was new which was added in last attempt. Last attempt. So still now I haven't tested. So maybe they can test. Trick to recollect all the points is CCC, payment should tally with premium collection and premium paid should be within limits. CCC, I am trying you to pay emphasize to me. CCC, that premium paid payment should be synced with premium collection, and the premium paid should be within the limits what you have been prescribed with as per IRDI regulation or whatever regulation. So CCC means completeness. Commission should be completely recorded. Complete calculation of the commission should be comprehensively checked, and any clawback provision if at all is there, then that also has to be adhered to. What do you mean by clawback provision again? What do you mean by clawback provision? Have you heard of this clawback provision? Huh? No? Clawback provision is similarly, even in directors also you'll find कि clawback provision होता है. When you study ना company law chapter, तो वहाँ पे भी clawback provision के लिए दिया हुआ है that whatever benefits directors are getting or enjoying, the same benefits they will have to give back to the company also if at all they are charged with fraud or any other sort of illegal activity. So if you are, committed any offense, then you might have to return all the benefits, that all the perks that you have obtained from the company back to the company. That is called as clawback provision. So what do you mean by clawback provision in context of commission agent? That if at all agent has already received its commission, however within 50 days free look cancellation happened, or in any time surrender happened, or whatever be the case, then in that case whatever commission we have transferred to the agent, that will be clawed back, that will be again received back by the company, because the insurance business that was transacted by the agent is not happening now within 15 days free look cancellation happened or any other sort of thing happened, and because of which the agent commission will should not be justified, right? And therefore we'll get back the agent commission from the agent, and that is called as what? Clawback provision. Clawback. So clawback clawback provision, right? Similarly, there was more C, two more C, right? Calculation, it should be as per the calculation, and all the completeness regarding commission system, processing system should be complete in nature. Completeness, calculation, clawback provision. Completeness, calculation, and clawback provision. And the other 2 point is with respect to payment. The payment system of the commission should be in line with the premium collection system. So whatever premium you will collect, percentage of that premium only you will pay to the agent, right? So percentage of premium that you will collect, you will pay to the agent. 1%, 0.5%, whatever be the commission there. So premium commission payment should be happen in sync with the premium collection system, and the commission paid is should be within the limit what is prescribed by IRDA and all. Clear? So that is with respect to commission payable to agent. Last point, last topic is with respect to operating expenses. Operating expenses, generally I have asked you what was the financial statement in which schedule, of IRDA regulations was financial statement of LIC prepared. फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट ऑफ LIC कौन से शेड्यूल में था? Of IRDA, preparation of financial statement and auditor's report of insurance company regulations 2002. Which schedule?
So schedule A.
Schedule A, right? GIC ka schedule B, and auditor's report schedule C of both LIC and GIC. So therefore they have mentioned what? Ki schedule A mein you will find ki they have been broadly, insurance company, all the administrative expense have been broadly classified under 14 heads as mentioned in schedule 3 of the financial statement forming part under schedule A of the IRDA regulations 2002, and any other expense are required to be disclosed under the head others only. ठीक है? Any major expense means what? Major expense, this has been asked in MCQ in May 19. I remember May 19 ये क्वेश्चन आ चुका है MCQ में, in exam MCQ. So 5 lakh or in excess of 1% of net premium. What do you mean by net premium? I have already told you. Premium net of reinsurance, premium net of reinsurance, and URR. This has not been digged in detail, but if they dig in, then we don't know probably, right? So you should be very precise when calculating that 1% is applied of net premium. Net है ये याद रखना, net premium है 1% of net premium या फिर 5 lakh, whichever is higher. So any major expense 1% of net premium या फिर 5 lakh, whichever is higher, then if that is a major expense, then that has to be shown separately as a separate FSLI, financial statement line item. So role of auditor, your homework. We will start with audit of GIC, General Insurance Company. This will start from tomorrow. One more homework I'll give you. This you are already aware, right? So applicability of AS, you are aware about this. In if you have read this in LIC already, you have read, right? Applicability of AS. Premium also you have already read. So go through the premium section. Then premium deficiency, acquisition cost, एंड ऑल दी अकाउंटिंग पॉइंट्स ना, जितने अकाउंटिंग पॉइंट्स है ना यहाँ तक लोन का, वहां तक का एक बार देख लो, लोन तक का, ठीक है? सो डू दी होमवर्क राइट अवे. यू हैव लेफ्ट हाफ आवर ऑलरेडी लेफ्ट एनीवे. सो रीड टिल हियर अकाउंटिंग ट्रीटमेंट तक का, बिकॉज दैट इज मोर और लेस सिमिलर टू व्हाट वी हैव लर्नड इन LIC केस. सो GIC का भी मोटा माटी सेम है. एंड प्रिपरेशन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट ऑल्सो यू विल फाइंड कि वही है, ठीक है? यहाँ तक करो. देन वी विल स्टार्ट विथ ऑडिट ऑफ GIC फ्रॉम टुमारो. So we'll finish off audit of GIC tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, same time, 7 a.m. ठीक है, टेस्ट पेपर आई विल शेयर बाय EOD और आई विल शेयर टुमारो, सो गिव द टेस्ट अकॉर्डिंगली, ऐसे 500। ऑल द बेस्ट। ठीक है, बाय।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.